Hey guys, so you're probably wondering why I'm wearing this shirt and not my usual video shirt. Well, it's St. Patrick's Day today. I know no one cares, it's not really that special, but I'm wearing this just to do it for YouTube, you know? So if I see one person not wearing green, I can just do whatever I want to do it. Hey, do you have any green on you? Yeah, I have it on your face. That was not funny. Okay, look, I'm gonna do this to you. What are you doing? I'm pinching you, you know? Great, that's bullshit. Why would you pinch me? Because I'm doing it. There. You like that now, buddy? You're happy that I pinched you? I won't do it anymore? That's stupid. Thank you. So now that we get this over with, let's review a green movie. I was going to review some St. Patrick's Day movie like Leprechaun, Quiet Man, or anything similar, but what I'm going to review is actually one of the most memorable animated movies that have green stuff in it. I'm obviously talking about Shrek. Who doesn't know what else I'm talking about? It's Shrek, obviously. So I know people know a lot about Shrek, but how much though? What is my opinion on Shrek? I don't know if I stated that yet, have I? Well, today we're going to look at what I think about Shrek, and what my opinions would be, how it holds up to this day. To start, we're going to do what we do in the other videos and talk about who's in the movie. We all know who's in the movie, but let me talk about what I think about the casting in this movie, and if I think it's good or bad. I don't know what to say here. The first cast member we have is our favorite guy, Mike Myers. This was in 2001, which was a very time for his performance. In 1999 and 97, he had his Austin Powers performance that we all know and love. And in 1992, he was in Wayne's World, so he's basically doing what he's doing. He's a wonderful actor, and playing an ogre in this movie was such a funny idea. I mean, come on, you gotta love how he talks. He just has a very nice voice, and he has a ton of time to use his accent, but the accent he used in this movie is so wonderful that I hope if another Shrek movie comes out, which is probably not going to happen, if it does, he could still play Shrek and still do a good job. That's what I hope. And with that being said, let's look at the other cast members. There's also Eddie Murphy, who we all know who he is. He's a comedy actor who's stuff like Dr. Duet and Nutty Professor. And now he's playing the donkey in this movie. This is one of the other times he plays an animated animal in a movie. And what other movie did he play animated animal? Look at Mushu from Mulan. He played Mushu from Mulan. I got really confused when I heard his voice, you know. You never really see that stuff in Disney movies. Regardless, Eddie Murphy's performance is perfect, and in fact, a little too perfect. So perfect, in fact, that I feel like he should just be doing more roles in this movie. Mike Myers should be doing more roles in this movie. Everyone should be doing more roles in this movie. You know? And then there's Cameron Diaz. We don't know who Cameron Diaz is, right? Her first showing appearance was playing this wonderful woman in The Mask, which we still find funny to this day. And now she's playing a princess, the made-up princess that no one really has a chance for. And this was her first performance of playing a princess, and at this point now you don't see her in many movies, famous movies, but well, who cares? She's in this movie. Her performance is great and memorable. Like, let's be honest, it really is memorable to this day. And the final famous actor in this movie would be known as John Lithgow. John Lithgow plays the villain Farquaad. If you say Farquaad 5 times, you'll just hear you'll just hear how kiddie this is. But yeah, he plays Farquaad, and it is a performance really okay. It's kind of sad he didn't play him in the other movies because he wasn't in the other movies. But at this point, he's still doing good. So yeah, my thoughts is that the acting in this movie is perfect, and I really like to hear it a lot. It works perfect for a Shrek movie, and it works perfect for any other movie. So yeah, my opinion, the casting choices were smart, but they were also kind of random, you know. You could have gone with anything, and that's what they went with. So with that being said, let's look at the next thing we look at, what the animation feels like. As some of you may know, this movie is based off of a classic Shrek book from like the late 90s, and not a lot of people read it, but who did read it knows how cool it would be for an animated movie. And as Shrek was born, the animation blew everyone away. It was so impressive. It was like one of DreamWorks' first CG animated movies since Ants, and Chicken Run, watch we always play. But anyway, though, the animation here is perfect, and it's pretty much used in every other Shrek movie. Yeah, like every other Shrek movie has the same animation except in a lighter HD style. This movie, on the other hand, has a perfect style of animation. We all just love looking at it, and that's what I'm gonna say here. The characters look really good. The animation looks good. It sort of feels like one of those Robert Zemeckis movies where they animate real people like the Polar Express, stuff like that. But this is perfect enough. It's not creepy. It's really good. So that's what I think. The animation is perfect and all, and for a Shrek movie, it really does hold up to this day. Yeah, it does. They made DVD copies of making the animation lighter. They didn't really need to, but they did. Now let's look at the next thing we do for this, the story. Is it hold up still? Let's find out. So we all know what the story is. The story is about a group of fairy tales get kidnapped by the evil Farquaad. but and they all just go do their stuff. And as Shrek finds that there's fairy tales in a swamp and a donkey, he has to leave him away. The opening was really telling how Shrek lives at this point, where he just does his normal things and they play Smash Mouth, a Smash Mouth song that gets stuck in your head the first time you hear it. It's really impressive, huh? And as Shrek realizes they need to get him away, he goes on an adventure with Donkey as they set off to find Farquaad and his mission to save a princess. Which princess? A made-up princess, that's who. They save a made-up princess, and get some stuff along the way. Like, they don't get along the first time, but then at the end they do get along. No. But after a while, they realize she thinks Shrek doesn't like who she really is. You know what's really convenient? She secretly is an ogre when she turns one at night. What are the odds? What are the odds of an ogre saving a girl who turns into an ogre? That just so weird, you know? It doesn't really make sense. But anyway, yeah, so they not work very well at the end, and Princess Fiona decides to marry Farquaad, but Shrek has to save her so she doesn't marry him. And what happens at the end? Well, Donkey also has a girlfriend. What's her girlfriend? A frickin' dragon. Donkey's in love with a dragon. That is so weird. It makes sense because he was a dragon. Donkey was a dragon once, so now he's marrying a dragon. And at that point, the dragon eats Farquaad, and they all live happily ever after as Fiona turns into a real ogre, and they all live safe. Now let's talk about the other Shrek movies, like Shrek 2, Shrek 3, and Shrek 4. Shrek 2 is a very smart movie as well. The story is very different. What happens in that movie is nothing like the original story, which the original story makes so much sense for a Shrek movie. The story in Shrek 2 is different. They go meet... It's kind of like the same thing we get in other sequels. Fiona meets her parents, they don't get along with Shrek, and there's a bunch of random stuff going on, a new villain, a new choice in cast. Like, we have Antonio Banderas voicing a cat. Cool, isn't it? We also have John Cleese, whose performance is perfect. He voices the king. There's also Rupert Everett, who voices the prince, and yeah, the actings are pretty neat than they were in the original. And you know what? That's cool, because acting doesn't matter on who you choose. It matters on how you do it, who you choose. Whoever you choose, it doesn't matter, as long as their acting is good and it knows what it's doing. So I think the casting choice for each movie was smart and made sense at the time. And what about Shrek 3? Well, after the villain, the fairy, died, they needed a new villain for Shrek 3. Who is the new villain? The second villain from the original, from Shrek 2. The second villain from Shrek 2, the prince, was the main villain in Shrek the Third, which is weird. And any other actors? Well, Eric Idle is in the movie. John Cleese and Eric Idle, and I'm starting to think this is a Monty Python connection here. Eric Idle plays a wizard who has no connection to Dumbledore for Gandalf, but it's kind of like giving them the middle finger. And there's Justin Timberlake. Yeah, Justin Timberlake's in the movie. Plays King Arthur. King of the Britons. No, not King of the Britons. Seriously, though, John Cleese and Eric Idle are in the movie, so that basically is just a Monty Python, the Holy Grail connection. Anyway, did Shrek 3 hold up better to the other Shrek movies? Well, the correct answer to that is no. I mean, not to be fair, the movie doesn't suck too very, very badly, but the film seriously had very dumb connection to the other Shrek movies. There wasn't much to it than the other films. It just felt bland and uninteresting, and the animation was weird, and the way they killed the king was so stupid. In fact, there's not much fun to see in the movie because basically it's just story that no one feels like to see in a Shrek sequel. Well, I guess that's all the movies. Oh wait, no, it isn't. They actually have another film, Shrek 4. Actually known as Shrek Forever After. There's a Shrek 4. Weird, like, Shrek is so popular it gets 4 movies. I mean, Ice Age has 5 movies, but that doesn't make sense. Shrek has 4 movies. Well, 5 include Puss in Boots. But Shrek 4 is a story that really works better. A story about Shrek going to a world where he never existed and seeing all his friends, getting friends in a dark way. Like, Princess is a warrior, Donkey's really sweaty and weird, and Puss in Boots is a fat bastard. You know, like the Mike Myers connection, you just call him a fat bastard. Get in my belly! I love that line. Anyway, yeah, and y'all just have to get along so they make sure that Shrek can finally exist back to his original life, which works. Who's the villain? It's this guy named Rumpelstiltskin. And I know what you're thinking, no, we're not talking about the Rumpelstiltskin from Gravity Falls. This movie was made before Gravity Falls existed. This Rumpelstiltskin is short, but has a very dark mind. He's very scary and is very evil than the other Shrek villains, because his evil story is really, really random. So yeah, since he's evil than the other villains, he probably deserved a better treatment. Like, Lord Farquaad got killed by getting eaten by a dragon. The fairy got killed from the wand making her disappear. The Bubbles and Prince Charming got killed by a tower falling on him. And how does Rumpelstiltskin get killed? Well, he didn't get killed. He just gets upset because his whole thing gets missing. They don't kill him. They just give him the sad treatment. I know it makes sense, but it's Shrek. It's a good movie, okay? Shrek 4 holds up better to the other Shrek movies. Not a lot of people say it does, but I think it really does. So, that being said, all 4 Shrek movies were great. Are we going to talk about Puss in Boots? Shrek's not in, so no, we're not going to. So yeah, Shrek 1 was a great movie. Shrek 2 was really even better. Hold up. Shrek 3 did not hold up very well. And Shrek 4 got back to the story that we all wanted to see. So yeah, they're the Shrek movies, and we all love them. And now we got that being said, I'm just going to pretend we have something new happening, huh? Nah, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm just going to do random stuff today. You know? Probably see a superhero. Whose superhero should I see? Let's see, whose superhero should I see? Ooh, she looks good. She has blue red clothes. She looks nice. Her name is Cat.